Happy 3rd of July, and I want to talk about the real Independence Day. So tomorrow is obviously the 4th of July, and it was exactly 47 years ago that Tina Turner made an enormous decision for herself. She left her husband, who was sleeping in a hotel room after they had had a big fight, and she ran across a freeway and ended up at a Ramada Inn where she begged for a room that she couldn't even afford to pay for. She had 36 cents and a mobile card on her, and that decision started her in her new life towards wealth, towards happiness, towards becoming an international superstar. And I'm calling it the real Independence Day because whenever we make a decision, whenever you make a decision that changes the course of your life, that is your Independence Day. And any day can be Independence Day, but I love celebrating it around our official 4th of July. So a little more about Tina. Obviously, leaving Ike was a big step for her, but it wasn't like she left Ike and then everything, was hunky-dory. There were 8 years, nearly 8 years went by until she had her hit record. And I've been listening to interviews and reading things and discovering what happened during that time, because that was really when her hard work and her character and her willingness to invest in herself made all of the difference. And before she made that decision to walk away in the hotel room, she had been cultivating a vision of herself as a successful, powerful, free woman. And even though she had been neglected as a child and abused as a young woman, she was developing a new self-image, a new vision of who she could be. Maxwell Maltz was kind of the father of personal growth. He wrote a book years ago called Psycho-Cybernetics, and in it he says that we are never likely to outperform our self-image. Our self-image keeps us trapped, and it's one reason why I say that personal growth and financial growth go hand in hand. And even before she had that vision of herself, Tina Turner she became a devout Buddhist. She was always someone for years and years who was praying and meditating and cultivating her inner self. And we succeed first on the inside before we succeed on the outside. And when that doesn't happen, that's why so many lottery winners go broke, because all of a sudden they have this outward wealth, this outward success. They have not cultivated themselves as successful and wealthy on the inside, and they are completely unable to handle that and to hold it. But Tina was cultivating that for years, even though she says she knew that she was going to leave at some point in time. She was waiting for the right time, and that was the time, July 3rd, that she decided to leave. So since she has passed, I've been, curious, obviously I've known about Tina Turner, but I was shocked to learn that she had a net worth estimated of $250 million at her passing. I believe it was actually even more. That's $250 million. And we're talking about somebody who really came from, nothing twice. Obviously a lot of raw talent, but was born into, poor sharecropping family, and then later at the age of 37 walked away from a successful career, but obviously a horrendous personal life with Ike Turner and the Ike and Tina Turner Review. But she had, she went from from having to build it all from scratch again to becoming one of the most successful entertainers, entrepreneurs, and a highly admired and respected woman. So she had multiple streams of income. One thing that she cultivated through obviously concerts. She sold over 200,000 albums by the time she passed. She had a song catalog, and this is why I believe her net worth was even higher. She sold her song catalog just a few years before she passed to BMG. And her song catalog, it was rumored in a lot of media to be more than $50 million. But when I looked at the industry magazines, they were saying that she sold it for the highest amount ever. And the industry magazines estimated that it was more than $200 million. And that was an asset that was generating income. She also had all kinds of endorsement deals. And one of my favorite ones was Hanes. At the age of 57 years old, this 5'4" woman, probably a grandmother by that time, and maybe didn't fit like our typical like supermodel type, but she got this deal from Hanes, and they had polled the American public, like, whose legs do you admire the most? And the number one vote was Tina Turner. Oh my gosh, those legs. At one point, her legs were insured. Her legs alone were insured for millions of dollars. And she got a $20 million endorsement deal from Hanes. Good for her. Beautiful, beautiful woman. She also was a master of joint ventures, we might call it. She partnered with so many people. While she was with Ike, she was building relationships that later friends and supporters and people that she could partner with in many, many different ways. I'm going to be going into a lot more details I'm calling it the Wealth Queen series. And you may know that I do live streams every Wednesday at 1 p.m. Pacific, 4 p.m. Eastern in my Total Wealth Creators Facebook group. In this particular case, some of it will be live stream, some of it will be on Zoom, because if we play any music of Tina's, I can't do that on a live stream. Facebook will take it right down. But if you want to be a part of this, then let me know, leave me a comment, or find the Total Wealth Creators group on Facebook, and there will be information about it there. I'm going to begin this Wednesday on July the 5th, and it'll go for quite a number of weeks. I believe I may be turning this into a book, and so I'm doing this for free. I say sometimes, if you come, I will build it. So if I've got people that want to know, how did Tina build the kind of wealth that she had, and what were the principles that enabled her to just absolutely transform herself, bust through all barriers of age, gender, race, to become such a success story. If you want to know about that, then meet me in the Total Wealth Creators group in Facebook. And I look forward to exploring this topic. Instead of brainstorming every week on what I'm going to cover, I'm just going to go all in on Miss Tina, the queen of rock and roll, and the wealth queen, and somebody who built wealth from the inside out. Have an awesome rest of your day. Remember, you are powerful, prosperous, and free, and you deserve a second chance at wealth. Bye-bye.